Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to Sunday School with me, Sarah. We're going to get straight to a collective card of the week for how do we all work to cultivate heaven upon earth this week, and then we'll move right along to your individual cards. So, one card for this week. Okay, so you've got the Two of Pentacles. And in this deck, the Wild Unknown, it's a beautiful rainbow infinity loop. So you have infinite possibilities emerging through the spectrum of color. Rainbow bridge, heaven to earth. Consciousness, intention, working through matter, the pentacles. So it's very simple. Do not limit yourself. Humanity is in a great transition right now from the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius. And any of you likely that are seeing this now and that are seekers are here to bring that age of Aquarius in, which is going to be very innovative and very expansive and ultimately transforming humanity into a higher dimension of consciousness. Okay, so work on your butterfly of what you truly envision being and bringing into this sphere. What is your dream? What is your own rainbow bridge? Trust it, build it, be patient with it. All right, moving right along. Pick card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. Card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. All right, here we go. Card number 1. All right, card number 1. You've got the sun. How gorgeous is that? So the sun with 4 doves surrounding it. So the sun is illumination. The sun is known as Christ consciousness or Sophia Christ consciousness. It corresponds with the heart center and also with Tiferet in the Kabbalah, which is just above you've got the earth, and then you've got the moon, and then you've got the sun. So solar consciousness rises above the solidity of earth and then above the lunar world of formation, which is associated oftentimes with the astral plane and also with illusion. Because the moon is always changing, okay? There's nothing wrong with the moon, but it is an area of flux. So it's pretty impossible to see the unity of all things when you are consciously aligned with only lunar and earth energy, because the earth is very solid. It's lacking the vision of potentiality and unity. Everything looks like it's separated if you're an earth-based consciousness only. And then you move up into lunar-based consciousness, and you are getting a higher awareness about ability to shift and form things, especially if you're working with lunar cycles. But then when you move up into the solar consciousness, you are turning into that masculine, it's called king, but I don't want to say it's gendered by king. But king is the masculine, yang, expansive energy of abundance and light. So when you embrace the sun, you embrace your ability to be an illuminator, to be like, as I Ching might say, a great king who bestows blessings and abundance upon all. Now, this is how we really come into our power and our brilliance and our light, is no matter what situation we're going through in the external world, we have control over what's going on internally. And so we can always be this sun. That is our ultimate strength, every single one of us, to overcome our struggles, our weaknesses, our traumas of the things where we have felt like victims and suffered and felt powerless. So those were all learning experiences that we needed to go through to evolve and know that we could survive and carry on. But ultimately, when you burn away all of that stuff and you come to just the moment, you have this illuminating, burning heart center, your sun. It's the Sacred Heart of Mary or Jesus. It's shown as many different things through different mythologies. But I tend to know the most about esoteric Christianity and Kabbalah, so I tend to think of this as like the Tifra Christ Consciousness Center. What else do I want to say about that? So it's to be your own sun. It's to birth your own sun. It's to identify yourself as a sun, also to connect with the sun as a conscious energy. So if you've never connected with the sun as a conscious energy, like, I'm going to meditate and connect with the sun tonight, or I'm going to talk to the sun, or I'm going to write a letter to the sun, you can actually have a conscious dialogue with that energy, and it will help you to come into a deeper relationship and incarnating that solar energy into you. So solar energy is wonderful to incarnate because it's fearless. It's your power. It's nobody else can help you because you are the radiating center. It's also not to seek. It's not to go hunting after anything, because everything is going to come towards you when you are your sun, when you're completely confident in your strength, in your light, and you're able to sit there and hold that light. There's so many methods, but the other thing that's coming up, just kind of in a mundane sense, this is a card of success and nourishment. So that's really to think about what is nourishing to you right now. What feels like success? What brings you a sense of optimism and hope, okay? It's also about inner child, letting your inner child be seen, letting a new part of you be seen, letting yourself be seen in general. And then the other thing interesting of note is that we're having all of these solar storms, and solar storms send all of this electromagnetic energy into the Earth's field. Now, I don't know how that's going to be affecting all of you, or exactly how it's going to be affecting the Earth, but they say that it screws up technology and it can interfere with all kinds of different waveforms, okay? And so this is also to kind of think about energy and to think about what that means to you, especially as we're moving from Leo into Virgo with some serious Mercury retrogrades. That's to think about energy and communication. And when you're going through a difficulty, do you feel like you have access to a light center, to a burning center? If not, work on being the sun. Work on being the sun. Meditate, visualize yourself as a sun. Ask the sun to come into your heart center. Okay, that's about as kind of tangible and mundane as I'm really getting with this one. Let me just see if I can pull in any more mundane information. Well, it's like go out in the sun, be in the sun, commune with the sun with your body, go to the beach. What would it be if you don't like to go outside? It's going to be more of meditative. You can also work with yellow crystals in general, pyrite. Okay, that's all I got. Okay, moving right along. Card number 2. Card number 2. Here we go. Okay. 2 of Cups reversed. Okay. 2 of Cups reversed indicates that there is a challenge that needs to be dealt with. For you to see, the 2 of Cups is about harmony. And it's about lovers usually, or it can be very good friends that are in harmonious communion with one another. They are opening their hearts to each other. They are sharing meals together. Perhaps they're sharing wine. Maybe it's water. Maybe it's juice. I don't know. But this particular card is very romantic. Now, when you have the 2 of Cups reversed, on how do you bring heaven to earth, something that's coming to mind is to be careful that you're not fooling yourself or deluding yourself due to a desire for this harmony, this feeling of love, this feeling of being seen. Sometimes we want that so badly that we will accept a person who goes through the motions and says the words that make us feel that they are emotionally present with us and are seeing us emotionally. But then when we're not with them, they're not connecting. We're not feeling the heart connection. We're having questions about it. We're having doubt. Doubt is the darkness that surrounds this card, okay? When you're in a place of true harmonious accord with another, there is no doubt. There is no doubt. Because the amount of healing energy, of hope energy, of comforting, truly divine energy that infiltrates your whole entire body and auric field when you are truly communing with another is undeniable, undeniable. So when you have a Two of Cups experience, oftentimes it's in that moment of first love or first crush, when you're like on your first date, or you've just stumbled into somebody and you end up talking to them for hours. It's this feeling of being seen, and it's just a current that is so nourishing to the heart that you want to stay there. And it feels like possibilities are opened in the entire world when you have this beautiful connection, because there is so much of our lives that we have to go through alone to grow and to evolve. So with the Two of Cups reverse, ask yourself very carefully, am I truly in harmony with the person that I'm sharing my cup with? This can even be in a very mundane sense about who you're choosing to go get tea or coffee with, who you're getting a drink with, who you are inviting over for conversation. It's really about, there's just something very balanced about this card. And it's like the growth of the roses of your heart are, oh my gosh, they're coming from nowhere and they're overlapping. And so interesting. There's really actually nothing in these cups too. So there's a feeling I'm getting with this card too about nothingness, okay? And the void of possibility, which is the womb tomb of all things, the womb tomb of all things. And so the kind of deeper message about reevaluating your relationships, and if they're harmonious, especially your closest ones and especially your romantic relationships, is the message is that you can go back into the darkness, into the creative womb tomb, where all the seeds are formed that go into reality. And you can rewrite your vision for what harmony means in love, what equality means in love, what balance means in love. And also, you can rewrite a vision of a partner with whom it is safe to completely open your heart to completely open your heart to. Because what's also very important about these roses is that they don't have any thorns on them. So this is a very kind of ritualistic scene where the thorns have been removed from the roses so that a very special, pure, sacred communion can happen between two souls. I'm just getting urged also to remind everybody that this interaction is two souls coming into avatars of your human body, your human incarnation, to commune and meet in this form and bring down the beautiful energy of hearts coming together, which is love, okay? And so basically they're saying, don't squander the potentiality. Don't squander the potentiality that Two of Cups offers with somebody who's not truly on the deep heart level coming into accord with your feelings, with your emotions, with your sensitivity, and with your vulnerability, okay? Okay. Flow. If there's no flow, I mean, there can't always be flow, But if you have a relationship that's bringing you fear, something is off there. Something is off there. So it's time to consider if that relationship is still worth your time. Card number 3. Card number 3. All right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Card number 3. How do you cultivate heaven upon earth right now? 9 of Pentacles reversed. Well, you can't do it alone. I'm sorry, you can't do it alone. So this is so interesting because 9 of Pentacles traditionally is shown as this very glamorous, independent woman, and she's in her garden, she has a falcon, she's very powerful. I often associate her with Isis, and remember, the Isis, the goddess, she is separated from her husband. He lives in the underworld, and so they only come together for a very, very short time after he dies to procreate Horus, the sun, which, by the way, was card number 1. So if you're watching all 3 of these, kind of cool reading. So 9 of Pentacles reverse. Let me look at this card. We've got feathers, which are very kind of unstable, air element, holding in pentacles that are in kind of a void, kind of a black space here. The feathers are very indicative of changeability, okay? And the pentacles are representing solidity. So we have definitely a kind of weird picture of a framework of changeability holding in this sort of puzzle piece game, really reminding me of tic-tac-toe, of Pentacles, which is the earth element. So interesting. Okay, so as far as like this game element is what I'm thinking of. Okay, so so in a game, well, they're talking about the game of life, and cultivating heaven upon earth. So this is kind of a fun message, actually. So this is about seeing the mission or the ideal, the work of cultivating heaven upon earth as a game that you're playing, okay? So in order to play a game, you need another person. Now, you could also, play a game with technology, but as far as I've seen, there's not a lot of cultivating heaven upon earth in that interaction, okay? Feel free to disagree with me and let me know. All right, sorry about that, friends. I ran out of memory on my phone. So we're back. Speaking of technology, is it yelling at me? Am I creating heaven upon earth by delivering Sunday school through technology rather than directly interacting with people? I mean, it's impossible to interact with you all personally. I would really love to do that. But I think that's a very good question, right? It's interesting that the technology failed right when I was talking about interacting with technology. So I do want to say 9 of Pentacles, direct connection with others, direct connection with others, and allowing others in to teach you and guide you and inspire you as well. Okay, so anything else I want to say about that? Nope, I think we're good. All right, you guys, that's it. I love you guys, and thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Sunday School. Please like, share, comment, share with me your stories of how the card that you picked is playing out, significant. I really, really love to hear those things. And I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.